What do Donald Trump, Will Smith, Elon Musk, Mila Kunis, Johnny Depp, and Budweiser have in common? They've all faced the dreaded, potentially career-ending public shaming, known as cancel culture. The concept of ostracizing isn't something new. From the town stocks and rotten fruit to viral online campaigns, the tactics just have not changed. But why do we do it? And is there a better way? Welcome to My Generation. Joining me today for this conversation is Ruth, Josh, and Anthony to talk about it a little further. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question, it's a little bit of a hot take question. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. Is the point of cancel culture accountability, punishment, or censorship? What do you think?
All three.
All three?
All three.
I don't think the term cancel culture even really means anything. I think it's just something that we say, and it's gotten so blown out of proportion and talked about that there's not really any consequences.
Like it gives too much power to the people to...
Yeah, I think like you could say that someone was canceled and then next month they could do something new and put out a new movie or whatever and continue to collect a check. I don't think that it really means anything.
Yeah. Josh, how would you define cancel culture, if there's any definition for it?
Cancel culture is it's kind of like the mad mob mentality where it's like a group of people start to feel a certain way about someone and then the way that they feel starts to spread by whether it be, just misinformation or it could be the actual information of what happened, but it's just the spreading of a hatred towards something or someone.
Would you guys say that cancel culture is associated with any sort of belief or political party of any kind? Anthony, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Both. Oh my gosh, both. I think we're living in a world now where you can't have meaningful conversations. So somebody says something you don't like, I don't want to hear it, block it out, report it, end it. And that's not how you run a society or you run a country.
So what role does social media play in cancel culture?
Probably the biggest.
The biggest?
Yeah.
But it was still there before social media.
Not as bad.
Not as bad.
No way.
Not as damning, right? Like, if you look at, when these celebrities or whatever, or even people just in business, they get canceled for something, it is damning to the point where their career could be over, right? And then it's like, how do they recover from that? And it becomes, as a result of social media. You were talking about towns getting together and, having those forums and all that kind of stuff back in the day. That's a much harder thing to happen versus like someone posts something, to their story and then next thing you know, within the next week, their business goes out of business.
It's
right?
like ending somebody's life because they did one thing wrong.
And it also it's very instantaneous, right? It can happen very quickly as opposed to like back in the day, it would have been something that grows over time. Whereas with this, it's just like it can catch on like wildfire because everyone's on their phones, everyone's on social media.
So is cancel culture more of something that should be permanent or is it something that should just be temporary?
Shouldn't exist.
Shouldn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we should kind of just reframe it. And
in what way?
Well, I think that we can look at accountability and we can look at appropriate consequences as well. Because I think we do kind of use the term cancel culture for everything from like someone's 10-year-old resurfaced tweets to something as extreme as a crime that someone should be going to prison for.
Well, talking about that, like, what is the difference there? The difference between like sexual allegation that isn't proven guilty, but people are trying to cancel somebody for it. Take example, Kevin Spacey. But then you look at somebody who makes a racialized comment or something like that, and it's like, end their life. But you can prove it. Is there any, like, what's the difference there? Anything?
There's such tough conversations because, I mean, I'm all about people expressing themselves. And I think we've taken free speech, which I believe in, huge believer in free speech, huge believer in freedom of expression, but we forget the byproduct of that, which is you're not freedom from consequence. So you can express yourself, you have free speech, hopefully we still have it.
Consequence, if not a body of a political body or a governing body, could be the people.
Yeah, but I think well-informed people will make that decision themselves. I like Twitter's a private company. I don't want the government censoring people. I'm definitely not for that one. But I always think that there'll always be the court of public opinion, that no matter what the outcome of something is because of something that was said or what was done, people will make up their minds naturally, and I kind of like to leave it at that.
Well, let's jump there. Coming up, what role does the court of public opinion play in our society? Let's see.